I'm with Adam from Panic Button. We are actually checking out Wolfenstein II on Switch, which seems a bit like an unusual combination, but somehow it just works.
I think it's kind of the summary of it, honestly. It's when I look at a title and what I want to do when I'm bringing something to hardware, it's how do I do something amazing? How do I surprise people, but at the same time make them say, oh, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. And that was part of the goal with Wolfenstein II.
Maybe you're right. Maybe the American people grew comfortable living under tyranny.
How? It's probably just the easiest way of doing this. Just how?
I work with wizards, a lot of wizards. I have a very talented team. Panic Button's been around for a while, been around for more than 10 years, and we have a very senior team of content and engineering and other disciplines. And we're able to do things that a lot of people just aren't able to because of expertise, but also because of passion. We have a lot of high-end, low-level people for performance and optimization, whether it's on the content side or on the technical side. And what that does is it lets us do things from the very, very high-end, like 4K and HDR, down to very constrained, purpose-built hardware. All of that aside, it was wicked hard.
I don't know, but I know this. You take freedom away from the American people, you're playing with fire. And I intend to pour some gasoline.
It was a lot of fun. It's one of those right now, for most of our team, this is our favorite project that we've worked on because of the challenge, because of the quality, because of the reception even before it launches. We're very excited.
Because you guys have worked on a number of projects before as well. You guys worked on Doom for Bethesda and bringing that to Switch.
We did, yes, and Doom was fun, and that was a title that made a lot of sense for that hardware and that audience. And again, it was the same thing of, let's bring a title to the hardware that surprises people, followed by them saying, well, that's exactly what I want. And I think it was very successful for everyone involved. It's got a very excited, very passionate fan base. There's a lot of rebuy that's happened because people can now buy the title, take it with them. We also added multiplayer, and that's gone very well. And we did a post-release update to it where we added motion aiming and motion gaming that was received very well, and online parties, because we wanted to make it a very good quality of life experience and not gimmicky. We wanted to make it special and integral to the game, and we think we did that very well. And that led into the Wolfenstein II stuff, because for me it was, Doom is technically and thematically challenging to put on this hardware. What would be more technically and thematically challenging, and Wolfenstein 2 fit very well for that. So I'm very proud of that. And I'm very grateful that Nintendo and Bethesda and everyone were so supportive and excited about it. I used to have a waking dream that somebody would wake up at some point and say, we all are trying to do what now? But it all worked out, and very supportive, very collaborative, just everybody elevating everybody. It's been a very good experience for all of us.
You're talking about some of the post-release stuff that you brought to Doom. I remember the amazing fuss that was made over motion aiming, because you guys also just kind of went, hey, by the way, yeah. And everyone's is something like that able to be built into Wolfenstein 2 from the ground up, or is that maybe something that might be added later? Yeah,
we actually built it in. It'll be available on launch day. And part of how that happened is we very much wanted to add motion gaming to Doom. And as we're bringing in Doom for release and starting up on the Wolfenstein 2 work, we built the motion aiming into Wolfenstein 2. Then we put that into Doom to release post-release. Then we took that, built on that, enhanced it, and we're very excited about the version of motion gameplay that's in Wolfenstein 2. Right now, for a lot of us at the studio, it's our favorite motion gaming on the platform right now. We're very excited to see what the community says as they play with it and do more with it and give us feedback on it.
Do you think then that Switch, I mean, obviously, even over these two titles, the stuff that you've been doing has been growing and expanding and improving. Do you think that this is the way that Switch gaming is going to go? Do you think it's going to continue mutating and improving, and it might be the next big little platform?
I believe it will. I think there's no reason why it shouldn't be. I think it's a very good portfolio ad for anybody that wants to reach a passionate audience with a quality product. We get asked a lot, some variation of, can every game come to Switch, or are there games that make sense or games that don't? Understandably, not every game makes sense, but we took some titles that were not planned with Switch in mind. When Doom 2016 was released, there wasn't even a discussion about Nintendo Switch. Wolfenstein 2 was well into development at the time that it was decided to move into Nintendo Switch, and we took some very challenging projects, and Bethesda, as a third-party publisher-developer, took some very challenging projects, and we all leaned into it and made it happen. So I feel like one of the strengths of what Bethesda has done is they've unasked the question as to whether big AAA third-party titles can go onto that hardware, and then the players have said, yep, we want this. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens coming forward. We may or may not be part of a bunch of that, so we're very excited.
What's it been like working with a company like Bethesda when you're working on some of these big flagship titles? How much support do they give you? Do they give you assets? Or do they just go, nah, you guys figure it out?
Yeah, it really depends on the particular partner and the project and things like that. They've been very collaborative. So on the Bethesda publishing side, they've been phenomenal for helping us on the production, on the quality assurance, localization, all those kind of things, and just making sure we had whatever we needed. With Doom, we worked with id Software, and they were extremely helpful with everything from letting us know what we needed from a tech perspective or answering questions or making sure we didn't reinvent the wheel. And they've also been very complimentary of how quickly we've spun up on their id Tech technology and what we're doing with it. Machine Games was super collaborative. The biggest challenge there is the time zone difference, but they're super helpful. They really like what we've done with the content. All sides really on each game really pulled together to make sure we released a quality offering, very pragmatic about how the platform is built and making sure it's a good gameplay experience as opposed to looking at artificial numbers about what should the frame rate be or resolution or things like that, which I totally understand why people are passionate about that. For us, at the end of the day, is the game fun? And we partnered with all these people and they had the same mentality, so I think it's gone very well.
You're dead, babe. They ain't never gonna see you coming.
Is that what you had in mind? You Nazi assholes.